Hello, this is Michael with TinyFrog Technologies. I want to talk a little bit about a web-based value proposition. And essentially a web-based value proposition is your value proposition on a web page. And typically the web-based value proposition sits on the homepage of a website. And essentially it's articulating who the company is, what they do, what services or products they provide, how they differentiate themselves from their competition, and what's the next step, or what is the call to action, so to speak, on the web page. So one of the things that we work with our clients on in the fairly early stages of the process is working with them to establish and craft their web-based value proposition, because a lot of companies know their value proposition, but translating that to a web page definitely takes a certain skill set. So it's actually one of the most important things that we do on a website project. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it's very important to kind of get it right. So I want to just focus on a couple different web pages here as examples of web pages that we built for clients, and this is the top of the web page. We call it a hero area, and it's probably the most general component or part of the web-based value proposition. So in this one, it's La Jolla Capital Group, and it says, "We see loans across the finish line. Secure a competitive loan for your property while working with the industry's top professionals." So that's basically, in a very short statement, articulates what the company does. And you'll notice it starts with a headline and then a sub-headline. So that's a fairly typical approach when building a web-based value proposition. We typically don't recommend putting any more text than that, because someone needs to digest that information in about 10 seconds. If the content is any more dense than that, or if there's more content there, they probably won't even read it. So this is about the right amount of content. And you'll see the image. There's a biker here in the background. It's kind of got a filter over it, so it gives it more of a design aesthetic. But the image is supporting the messaging. So we see loans across the finish line, and you got a biker here. So there's a correlation there, a strong correlation between the image and the messaging. And you'll notice that they don't sell bikes. They're obviously a loan company. So the image doesn't have to be literal. The image could be what we call suggestive imagery. And oftentimes that's better because it creates more of an emotional connection to a circumstance versus showing, in this case, a loan company. A literal image would be someone signing a piece of paper, something like that, which wouldn't be very engaging. And if we were to scroll down the website, you'll notice that you'll hit the value proposition will begin to spread out through the entire course of the web page as you're scrolling down, with the most important thing on top. So I'm going to show one more example. This is another website we built for a client of ours. And again, it has a headline and sub-headline. This happens to be a software company for warehousing, in the warehousing industry. And it does indicate, in a fairly short statement, who they are. And then this one also has what's called a call to action button. This is something we oftentimes will do on a web page. And if you were to click that, it goes to what would be their product overview page. And that's important, a very important part of their business, to show their products. So typically when we're deciding or discerning what's going to go in this area, oftentimes we'll have a call to action that will go to the second most important page in the website. So having an effective web-based value proposition is one of the more important parts or aspects of building an effective website. So if you have any questions about value proposition and building it into a website, definitely let us know.